I have always wanted to try one of Joby's Gorillapods, a tripod which is known throughout the world as being the sort of vlogger content creator tripod. And people have been using these for years, but Joby keeps bringing out newer and better ones as time goes on. This is the Joby 3K Pro Kit, which is aimed primarily at mirrorless camera systems. Quick disclaimer, Joby did send me this to review, but they've not seen this video before it's gone live and they've not paid for this video or anything. All the opinions in this video are entirely my own. Now the recommended retail price of this is around £164, which is pretty expensive for a small tripod, but you can get this much cheaper on a variety of different websites, including Joby's own website, which is £120, and on Amazon I think it's about the same. So as this has been the go-to flexible tripod for content creators and vloggers, I want to see if one, it's really worth this price, and two, if it's as sturdy as it says it is. So Joby sells a bunch of different Gorillapods. This is the 3K Pro Kit, and this is aimed at cameras and payloads weighing up to 3 kilos, hence the name. Now the 3K Pro Kit weighs around 460 grams all in all, and if you're maxing this to 3 kilo payload, that's almost a 3.5 kilo weight that if you were to be using for vlogging or something, this would get heavy fast. But obviously this isn't just for vloggers, and you may be taking advantage of that payload to do some photography and mounting this to, you know, a railing or a wooden fence or something. Now the build quality of this is really nice, and the 3K Pro Kit, the reason it's a bit more expensive than the standard 3K kit is that there's more metal parts here to make this a sturdier design. Now with the kit you do get the ball head and the legs together, and if you were to buy these separately it would cost a lot more. So right off the bat there's a few things that I really like about this tripod. Firstly, the Arca Swiss plate. Now this might not sound like much of a big deal, but when you're trying to keep your kit to a minimum, having this thin low profile Arca Swiss mount is really helpful. Not only is it lighter than some of the other Arca Swiss mounts that you can get, but I can use this on pretty much any of my other mounts that are Arca Swiss, which means that I can take my camera off of the Gorillapod and then put it on another tripod or put it on a camera rig or whatever it is that I need. Secondly, the rubber knobs on the ball head, I feel like I can really tighten these to make sure my camera is secure. Now the ball head itself is really nicely made and feels incredibly premium. There's a cutout here so you can do some portrait shooting, but you can also take the ball head off entirely to either use this on a completely different system, or if you just want to use the legs on their own without the ball head. Now I have some smaller camera bags, and what I really like about this is that I can just take the ball head straight off, and then this will fit in a more compact bag. My only real gripe with the ball head is that the knob to tighten the actual ball in place also controls whether or not you can pan. So to pan you need to loosen it slightly and then you can start panning the head, but the problem with that is that when you loosen this knob it also makes the camera less secure. And if I'm really maxing this thing out with a 3 kilo payload, do I want that wobbling about on the top because I'm trying to adjust for a pan? Not really. This isn't really a deal breaker, but I would prefer to have seen these two controls separate. Now moving on to the legs, I did mention that these are Joby's more premium legs. The standard kits were criticized a little bit for breaking, and if you go on Amazon you can see some of the reviews of the standard kits where the ball joints have snapped, and that definitely doesn't look too good. But with this one, I've bent this around and I've been pretty heavy-handed with it, and I'm telling you, this Pro Kit is solid. When I was out doing the B-roll for the Gorillapod, I did record some of my opinions, so let's take a look at those. Here shooting some B-roll with Ryan for the Joby 3K Gorillapod kit, the 3K Pro Kit. And there's two kind of takeaways that I've got at the moment. One is that it is pretty heavy, especially holding my A7 III out quite far. It's pretty heavy on my arm, to be quite honest. I'm not used to vlogging, so for me it's a bit of an issue, but I think for most people who do vlog on a regular basis, they'll be used to this kind of thing. And the second thing, which is a good thing, is these legs with the like ball joints. It fits really nice in my hand and I can really grip it and not feel like I'm gonna accidentally drop my camera at all. This feels super secure. I would be happy to use this out and about in like a busy street and not worry about dropping it. So right now I've got the ZV-1 on the Joby 3K Pro Kit, and one of the biggest complaints about the ZV-1 is how cropped in it is for vlogging. Well, I've got it on active stabilization now. Ryan's right behind me, and I'll be cutting to some of the B-roll so you can see how far out my arm is. But because the ZV-1 is light, this isn't really a problem. I'm not struggling to hold the ZV-1 out here at this length, and the Joby gives me a bit of extra range to get this wider shot. I mean, this looks pretty good with the active stabilization on, and I'm really happy with it. Here's another quick example. So this is me holding the ZV-1 at basically full arm's length. I couldn't stretch any further than this. But with the Joby Gorillapod 3K Pro Kit, I can extend to that, which is much better if you want to do vlogging with two people in the shot, or you know, you want to get something in the background. So just to show you again, This is without the Joby Gorillapod if I was just holding the ZV-1 at arm's length, fully arm's length. And then this is with Joby Gorillapod, so pretty good. From those clips, you can see that the Gorillapod has some major positives in terms of security and stability, and also enabling you to get a bit of a wider shot if you need it. Now, in my opinion, these factors make the Gorillapod a pretty essential piece of kit, because if you're putting a heavy, expensive camera on this, you want to have that firm grip, you don't want to worry that you're going to accidentally drop it, and these legs really give you that ability to get a firm grip on your gear. I think for anybody looking to buy the Gorillapod, there's going to be two major questions you're going to ask yourself. One, can this actually handle the 3 kilo weight? I can tell you right now that it can, but here's my opinion on it. I personally wouldn't max this out. I always think that when you see a max payload on something, maxing it is never a good idea, because that's what the manufacturer is saying is, you know, you're pushing the limits. 3 kilograms is the limit. You don't want to be putting a 3 kilo payload on this, in my opinion, maybe 2 to 2.5, but if you want to put 3 kilos plus on this, I would recommend going for the 5K Pro kit. Another thing to consider is the weight. I personally want to keep my vlogging kit as light as possible. My A7 III with my lens and my microphone weighs around 1 kilo. That's like nothing, but I still felt that this was kind of heavy carrying it around. When I put the ZV-1 on this, it was super light and I could probably vlog with that all day. And the next question to ask yourself is this worth the price? So as I said, you can pick this up for around £120, although the recommended retail price is a lot more than that. Do I think this is worth £120? Well, there are cheaper tripods on the market, but none that offer what the Joby does, especially in terms of flexibility. And to be quite honest, even in terms of the stability, I have other tripods that when I go out and about, I always feel like there's a chance I could drop my camera. But with this, I just don't feel that at all. Having this grip on the legs if I'm walking around my camera gives me some peace of mind, especially if I'm walking around with £2,000 plus worth of camera gear. That's something I don't think many other travel tripods can give you. So this has been my go-to mini tripod since Joby sent it to me, and honestly, the fact that it's got this low profile Arca Swiss mount that I can just take my camera off this tripod and put it on pretty much anything else, these rubber knobs which make securing your camera really easy, and then these brilliant legs that you can grip when you're out and about and on the go. I completely recommend it. So there you have it, that's my review of Joby's 3K Pro kit. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. If you have any questions about this product, let me know and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like. It really helps out the channel, as you know. And if you want to see more from me, be sure to subscribe, hit that little bell icon as well, and you'll be notified when I upload something new. And hopefully, I'll see you in the next one.